Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the host of the program. And this is the weekly radio show that informs and it educates you on how to buy or sell real estate. It does it with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And we're back, Barb. We're talking about one of your largest assets, that is your home. Many people have sat on the sidelines and decided not to buy because of the rates or prices are just too high right now. So, Barb, there are ways to make homes more attractive and affordable to buyers. Tell us what those are.
Well, Richard, a lot of buyers gave up and just quit on the whole idea of buying homes when rates went up. So after the mortgage meltdown in 2008, all the way through to 2022, which is for some people almost a lifetime, the rates were really low, 3.5, 4. They stayed in those low ranges, sometimes as low as 2. So it made homes more affordable. The result was that the prices went up, but they could still handle the payments. Then when the Fed started rising the rates up to 7, when they go up to 8, it really creates a lot of demand destruction from the buyers because they buy on payment. Most buyers don't pay cash for homes. Okay, most of them are getting some kind of loan where they're putting some kind of down payment. And so, but some of them have really been disciplined about, living frugally and saving a lot of money so they're ready for their down payment. Some people are getting help from their family members, but home sellers can actually offer incentives just like builders do. They can offer to buy down the interest rate by covering some of the buyer's loan closing costs. And it really does impact the buyers because it gives them an opportunity to be able to afford the house. And just so you know, the benefits of home ownership are really important. I just met with a buyer yesterday who's never bought a home before, very nervous about it. But the situation is right. The price is definitely right for this home that this person's going to buy. And I wanted to kind of go over with her why to do this besides just, wanting to live there. It's more about stabilizing your housing costs because people have to pay for housing anyway. But if you're renting's going to go up every year or two. And it could be that the seller decides to sell the home and then you got to move out. So that's not a good situation. And things have gotten more and more expensive. So if you can afford to buy it, what happens is your monthly payment essentially stabilizes. It stays the same. It might have a little variation for property taxes, but not much. As the home value rises up, and studies have shown that people that buy homes have 60% higher net worth than people that don't. So it's really, really important. Um, and, we often have buyers ask for what we call concessions, which is basically a request for the seller to pay the buyer's loan closing costs. We're seeing that pretty commonly in sales prices below 500,000, but even higher than that. So why are they doing that? It's because they have a limited amount of cash and they want to basically have the seller pay some of their cost of getting the loan. And I've seen some numbers as high as like $32,000 in closing costs. That's a little bit much. But what's pretty common is about 10, maybe even 15,000 of the loan's closing cost, right? And what are they doing with that money? It's not like they're, going shopping. They don't get cash out of it. All that money has to go towards the cost of their loan. So they pay what's called these discount rates, where they give the lender money to make the fixed rate permanently lower. And that helps them and helps lower their payments. So for home sellers, it's something that you can offer. You can negotiate. In other words, you can raise up the price to cover some of those costs. And you have to keep in mind there is definitely a commission expense to it. As an example, I had one a few months ago where we had already agreed on a price for the home. I think it was around 405, and they went up in price to 415 to do just that, to pay the lender to buy down the interest rates to make the house more affordable for the buyer. They were a first-time home buyer, which is fine, except the seller said, wait, if I do the math, I would have to pay a commission, because it's based on the sales price, on their cash needs. And that amount in this case would have been about $600-700. So we tried to counter the buyer and say, okay, fine, we'll pay your closing costs, but we're not going to pay a commission expense on top of your closing costs. And of course, the buyer's agent had a complete meltdown and threatened to take me to arbitration for his extra $250. And I just said, forget it. I'll just cover it. I think the seller's right to ask for that. And you can have fun at your arbitration hearing if you want to do it, but I didn't feel like fighting him over it. Fortunately, with this new National Association of Realtors settlement, all that stuff's going to go away and everything's going to be negotiable, which I think is wonderful. It's going to teach people, agents in particular, how to negotiate. So my name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I am Barb Has the Buyers team. I'm also the host of this show, Real Estate Voice. And what we're talking about is how you can position your home to be one of those must-see homes that the buyer wants to go see. And then next up, we're going to be talking about what you can do to make sure your home is found online. And if you are thinking of making a move, we can help you in any kind of market. Even though the prices are going up, the inventory is also up by 33%, and there is less demand. So what does that mean? That means that not as many homes are going to sell. So you have to be really, really competitive. So if you are thinking of making a move, just on our little website, we have over 27,914 buyers. Typically, I can find up to 700 matches for your home that are a high match for any home pretty much. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call, 719-301-3900, or you can go to barbhasthebuyers.com. And if you don't want to deal with the whole selling process, you can sell your home in 3 minutes for top dollar and get multiple cash offers on your home at a price agreeable to you, guaranteed, or I'll pay you the difference. So basically you go to barbhasthebuyers.com, 3 clicks, 3 minutes, you get 3 offers, and I can guarantee your price of 100% of market value, or I'll pay you the difference. You can sell your home as is with no showings, no open houses, not even listing your home for sale. And our program was actually voted the #1 way to sell a home by highest priced research. So find out more at barbhasthebuyers.com or give us a call, 719-301-3900. Richard?
Barb, we're talking about how to motivate buyers to put their homes on that must-see list. So what are some of the particulars about those offers?
Well, Richard, it's how hard is it typically, if you're wondering, for a buyer to qualify for a loan? First of all, if they don't carry a lot of debt and they have decent income and they have a good credit score, they're probably going to be in good shape. So you really want to take care of your credit. That's important. But in general, if your debt to income does not exceed 35 to 40%, now debt is defined as things like house payments, car payments. It doesn't include utilities or, cell phone service or anything like that, but it does include any kind of credit card debt, any debts that you have to handle. Generally, you can get a loan if your credit score is at or above 620, but a lot of people think the buyer has to save 20% down, but there's plenty of loan programs out there. There's 2 that have a 0 down program. One is VA, and the other is FHA, where they give down payment assistance to the buyer. I've also seen a whole bunch of contracts come across with 5% down for conventional or 10%. So it doesn't have to be 20% down. And if you have a cash buyer buy your home, then it's an easier way to sell. But at the end of the day, most people want the most money. I'd say a majority of them. And so it's all about making sure that you position the home to get the most money by pricing it right, by making sure it's marketed appropriately and making sure it's presented to the market appropriately. And that's part of what we do. So if you are thinking of making a move and you'd like to find out how to get your home ready for sale, what to do, what not to do to get your home ready for sale. If you want to know what your home will sell for in this market, go over all the closing costs. You know exactly what you'll put in the market. Then go to barbhasthebuyers.com or call us at 719-301-3900. And in general, people don't sell homes very often, right? And the reason why clients get dissatisfied typically is communication. Maybe occasionally they'll have circumstances, title issues, maybe disclosure issues, maybe agent issues. I'm in a huge battle right now with an agent that keeps sending over the addendum of every 2 days. And I don't know why this person has to have the last word, but she's threatened to sue me and my seller. It's like, why are you doing that? You got a buyer that wants to buy and a seller that wants to sell. So sometimes they get in the way. Sometimes marketing can be bad. But at the end of the day, we are trained and experienced to handle any of these problems. And we do deal with it day in and day out to try to make the process as easy as possible for the home seller and just take some of the weight of some of the craziness off their shoulder. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call at 719-301-3900, or you can get your cash offer by going to barbhasthebuyers.com. Click on cash offer, and in just 3 clicks, 3 minutes, you can get 3 offers. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with the host of the program, Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold, Guaranteed Realty. And if you are thinking of making a move, simply call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. Or if you want to, you can find out about selling in 3 minutes with 3 clicks and get 3 offers by visiting barbhasthebuyers.com. Click on cash offer where you see that button. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be discussing the top 10 questions that home sellers need to know before putting their home up for sale. Stay tuned for that.